But I wanted to highlight to businesses some of the things that are going to be coming down the track that we need to be aware of. So my talk is titled Change Tsunami and Wake Up. So here we are in a tsunami scenario. So does anybody know who this is? You probably don't know who it is. And oh, who is it there, Terry? No, not her. This is actually a young girl called Tilly Smith. Now Tilly, this was her in 2004, so she's about 25 now. But she correctly, when studied geography, worked out that when there was a tsunami, the water retracts before it then comes back. So in 2004, when there was the big tsunami on Boxing Day, she saw the signs that the water had all receded, and she was aware there was a tsunami coming, and she saved many thousands, well, many hundreds of lives during that, and she won an award and all that kind of stuff. So if I were to, my contention is that this is where we are in 2019. We're actually at the warning signs of a big tsunami of change that's actually coming our way. And how can I confirm that's the case? Well, major disruption, which I think you could all probably argue with what's going on in the world, particularly in the UK with Brexit and also in the US, I think is an idea of always big disruption, always heralds big change. Okay? So this is where we are, the alarm signals are ringing, and we now need to change what we're doing in a world as our business, in our businesses as well. So I've just picked out some topics of change, and you can see from that list, these are quite some interesting changes that are going to be coming down the track. I can also pick out things like self-driving cars, for example. If you can imagine the disruption self-driving cars can have, you won't need taxi drivers, for example. What's going to happen in that scenario? So there's all sorts of different disruptive technologies that are coming, and that's something that we need to prepare for as businesses. If you're not already addressing some of these issues now, then you, as a business, then your business is in danger of becoming irrelevant. But I don't really want to talk about these changes because that's just one aspect of it. What I really want to focus on is what's actually happening in our real world. Today, as Terry correctly mentioned, there are children going on strike about climate change. So this is becoming a very important issue in the world. We're also seeing people's living longer. So if we think about society, think about our generations, people are living a lot longer. So again, that's going to be as businesses, how do we manage that in terms of our workforce planning and in terms of our customer and in terms of our services. One of the big changes that I wanted to talk about was younger people. So if I just explain that I was born in the 1970s, that makes me a Generation X. People who were born in the kind of mid-80s to 90s are the millennial generation, and then the people who were born 1997 after is Generation Z. And I want to talk about these young people because 75% of the workforce will either be millennial or Generation Z by 2025. These people have got a completely different view of the world than we have, and businesses are going to have to change as to accommodate them as customers, but also as from a workforce potential. There we are. These people are entering the market now, if they're not already, and are also very much in our workforce. So as businesses, we're going to have to change how we recruit, retain these people, because they're very savvy, very switched on and very well informed. So if anybody's come across future generations, so for example my son, he gets all his information from YouTube, he's extremely switched on about particularly certain topics that he's interested in. He knows a lot of information, a lot of facts, and he also knows how to get the information. And in the car the other week he said to me, he said, Dad, did you not have Wi-Fi when you were my age? I said, Oscar, I did not have Wi-Fi, I didn't have the internet. And he said, I didn't realise you were so old, Dad. So, but that gives you an idea of his view of the world and how his world is completely different to my world. Just to talk about these people as well, these are all their conditions in terms of how they've grown up. So this generation, Generation Z, is growing up in a recession. They've grown up as a result of where we were with the financial banking crisis. So they're aware of the effects of that. As a result, these people like saving money. They don't like taking as many risks. They're risk averse in that kind of stuff. So again, this is something that we need to be aware of when we're talking to younger people who are coming through in the marketplace and as in the workforce. And these people are looking at what business does, how your business actually makes a difference. A job is a job. They're not looking necessarily for a job, they're looking to make a difference, they're looking to look an impact. So if your business is making an impact, fantastic, you know, you'll recruit those people. If not, then you'll struggle to recruit those people, okay? Okay, so how do you recruit, retain, motivate and train Generation Z and Millennial people? You have to have a different strategy. So certainly when I was growing up, I just basically wanted a job. Not necessarily, there wasn't as many options as there are nowadays, so it was a question of I wanted a job kind of just to get me by and then build a career from that. But these people are looking for something much more different. Let me talk about that. They want businesses to be more and do more. You see that they want businesses to come up with solutions to current day problems. And also, if that's where the market is shifting, then your business can shift to where that market is. That's where you'll generate future revenues and future income. So how does your business differ from any other? So again, I'm going to pick up some issues here. Wealth inequality. 2,000 food banks in the UK. Here we are in 2019. It's quite an amazing fact, really. The other fact that I have is that 10% of the wealth, 44% of the wealth is owned by 10% of the people. So again, if you think of the wealth inequality, you've either got people who are very rich or you've got people who are just getting by. So there is an issue about how business can help those people in those situations. This is happening in our local community as we speak. So business has a role in terms of corporate social responsibility, it has a role in supporting charity, it has a role in supporting food banks. This is about not just only giving donations to those organisations, but encouraging staff, encouraging customers also to give and help those people in society who need it most. Again, this is all great public relations, great opportunity for the business to promote itself as a point of difference from any other business. Climate change, I've mentioned climate change, I mentioned the people who are striking today. This is generally Generation Z type people who are going on strike because they're so moved about the climate and they want something to happen about it. So if your business is not doing something about it, you'll not be as attractive to younger people either to work for or to do business with. Again, so what is your business impact on the environment? How is it having an impact? How are you helping customers and staff and inform them about those decisions that they can take in terms of improving their environmental impact? And what are you doing as a company? There's many things in business that we can do. You know, we're consumers as business of many different goods and services, we have a lot of buying power. So we can use that to our advantage as a business to ensure that we're actually doing positive effects for the environment. And again, that's an attractive USP, not only for workforce, but also for our customers as well. Mental health, it's mental and physical health. Again, 1 in 4 people will suffer from a mental illness at some point in their life. So again, from future potential businesses, in terms of customers and also staff, are looking at where you can add value. What's the added value that you as an employer give to help people through health? So it can be quality of life, for example, how you're looking after people, what support you're giving to occupational therapies, flexible working. There's all sorts of different ways you can actually help people, and that's what people are looking for. If your business is doing that, that's the difference. People will want to work for a business that has the welfare of its employees and the welfare of the planet, the welfare of society at heart. And I call that the difference of making a difference. You can quite see that from the back. And that's what it's about. It's about the difference that makes a difference. It comes down to what's your unique selling point. All businesses are opportunities to make money, serve clients, serve people. You've got to have a USP. You've got to be different to everybody else, because if you're not, you're just wallpaper. So these are real opportunities to outshine your competitors, to outshine other businesses as well. One of the things that I always do a lot of work with clients on is core values. So what is your business for? It's about what do you stand for as a business? What's important to your business? Why does it matter? Yes, the business is there to make money, but that's just the end result of achieving success. If you do something well, you do something right, and you're clear about what your commitment, what your values are, that's where the business can make a bigger impact and have more success and generate more profit as a result of that. So it has to come down to what are your core values. Here are just some core values that are relevant for people around ethics or relationships and around trust. One of the things I talk about core values is it's not the words really aren't important, it's the actions that count. You know, if you behave and act in a way that's congruent with your core values, then you'll make more of an impact. If they're just words on a wall, they're meaningless, they have no impact, they have no sense of purpose at all. And unfortunately, you have to suck this one up, but no one really cares about you, you know, in terms of your business. You're just, again, wallpaper, you're just another business there that's out there to try and generate more money or more clients or more customers. It's actually about why you do it. That's the important part. People are more familiar now, particularly with Simon Sinek, for example, but it's about why you do what you do. What's the reason that you do what you do? I'm a business coach. I work with businesses, business people. I absolutely love and enjoy helping people. That's what I like to do. That's where my satisfaction comes from. Obviously, I like to pay the bills and make money, of course, but actually my real satisfaction is helping people. And when people come up to me and say, you've made a tremendous difference in my life, in my business, that's my why, that keeps me going, that's what makes me happy. And everyone's got their own different things. And whenever I speak to business owners, why do you do what you do? It's never, ever, ever about the money. There's always a reason behind why they do what they do. And that's what to focus on. That's to build your value. That's to build your USP on. One of the things that I'm advocating now is about adding social value. So how does your business actually help local people or the local community? What difference is your business making in that local community? It could be making fundraising for a charity, it could be doing events and activities to promote health and well-being, for example. Lots of different things that businesses can be doing to improve and add value to the business. Yes, as businesses we employ people, so we add value in that way. But there's more to business than that. Businesses can be a real important vehicle for change and an important contributor to the community and society as a whole. So when you're thinking about your business, think about how are you actually helping your customers, how are you helping your staff, you know? And that's from a business is where you will get more recognition, more kudos, more people wanting to work for you, more people wanting to work with you as a result of taking that approach. At the end of the day, all businesses is a solution to a problem. If I'm thirsty and I want a drink, I'll go to the bar. If my car breaks down and I need a mechanic, I'll call the RAC or I'll get a mechanic to come. It's a solution to a problem. Every day our lives are changing, every day our problems are changing, therefore our solutions must change. So we need to be thinking about what those problems are now and in the future. And if we can think those things through ahead, that's where we'll be the most successful in business. Yeah? This is the phrase that captures my talk really, which is the most successful businesses will solve the problems of today and tomorrow. Otherwise, become irrelevant. You know, it's your choice, you run your own businesses. The business has the choice to be relevant or be irrelevant. One will be more successful than the other. So I'm encouraging people to take action now, to wake up and respond to these changes that are coming down the track. Be aware of the change that's coming. As I said to you before, 75% of the workforce will be millennials or Generation Z by 2025. That's effectively 5 years from now. So how is your business going to change and accommodate those changes that are coming through? They'll come very quickly. Again, if you don't do that, then your business will just become part of a zombie apocalypse. It will just be there, in being, but not in spirit. And, any business that doesn't grow or develop declines. So these are some things that I encourage your businesses to do. So review your business, review your values, look at your ownership. So are your staff bought in, are your customers bought into what your values are? If not, then shape them. Without ownership, there is no commitment. And what's your business workforce planning? How are you managing your future recruitment and retention as a business? Most businesses, staff is probably the most important thing in terms of their costs, but also in terms of how they provide services and products to customers. If you haven't got the staff, you can't do business. You need to be looking at those workforce planning issues and looking at them now. How are you adding value as a business? What's your difference? How are you contributing to society as a whole and making that difference? And promote that, communicate that with people. That's what people are interested in. They like to see where businesses are making a difference, having an impact. We've also got to think about the offer to staff. It's not, as I said to you before, it's not about the money. Yes, of course, we need money to pay the bills and we need money to pay wages. But staff are looking for something else in addition to that. They're looking for contribution in terms of what your business is doing, maybe even looking for making a difference, making a career. Certainly, again, another statistic here, for example, is from the millennial generation, 12% of those people are vegetarian or vegan. My generation, Generation X, that's 7%. So you're nearly twice as many people who are vegetarian or vegan. You only need to look at Greggs and the vegan sausage roll to give you an idea of how they're shifting their market and how they're responding to customers. And that is an idea, and that's what I'm trying to suggest is the kind of thing you need to start thinking about. Okay, I'm going to finish my talk with a quote from JFK, which is, change is the law of life, and those who look to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. No one knows what the future is going to bring. We can't predict what's going to happen, certainly in the current world that we're in. But we can start to plan ahead, and we can start to think ahead, and we can start to make decisions about where we think the business is going, where it's adding value, how it's making a difference and making an impact. A quick thing about me, I am a business coach. I do offer business coaching, do one-to-one sessions. I also do training, mainly around the business planning. I also have a specialism around sales and marketing, and also leadership in terms of business owners. That's my contact details, and thank you very much indeed for those who listen. Thank you. Cheers. Okay.